The day Israel attacked an American ship, June 8, 1967, the Eastern Mediterranean Sea. The waters were calm that day. The USS Liberty, a United States Navy technical research ship, essentially a floating spy vessel, glided quietly off the coast of the Sinai Peninsula, intercepting radio communications and signals in the midst of the six-day war between Israel and its Arab neighbors. The war had erupted just days before. Israel was fighting Egypt, Syria, and Jordan all at once. Every major capital in the region was on edge, and the U.S. was trying to stay out of it, at least publicly. Behind the scenes, however, America wanted to know everything. And that's where the Liberty came in, its mission. To gather intelligence, not to fight. It was a lightly armed vessel with just a few .50 caliber machine guns and no escort. A sitting duck if anything went wrong. And then, something did. That afternoon, the crew of the Liberty noticed something strange. Unmarked aircraft, sleek, fast, and low, were circling above. They weren't hostile at first. No shots fired, but they were close. Too close. "Looks like Israeli mirages," said one of the crew members, peering through binoculars. "But why are they flying so low?" Moments later, the silence shattered. Jet engines screamed overhead. Without warning, the Israeli aircraft opened fire, raining cannon shells and rockets down on the unarmored American ship. Explosions rocked the deck. Antennas were ripped to shreds. Fires broke out in seconds. Crew members scrambled, confused and terrified. "We're under attack! We're under attack!" "This is not a drill!" The assault intensified. After the initial airstrike, Israeli torpedo boats appeared on the horizon, closing in fast. Without hesitation, they launched torpedoes, one of which struck the Liberty directly, blasting a 40-foot hole into her hull. 34 American sailors were killed, over 170 were wounded. Amid the chaos, one communications officer, wounded but determined, managed to patch together a distress call, sending it across the sea. Back at the 6th Fleet, 2 American carriers, USS Saratoga and USS America, heard the message and launched fighter jets to defend the Liberty. But then something strange happened again. Just as the jets were en route, Washington ordered them to turn back. No explanation, no clearance to engage, just stand down. Why? Shortly after, Israel contacted U.S. officials, claiming the attack was a tragic mistake. They said they had misidentified the Liberty as an Egyptian ship, possibly an Egyptian horse carrier that looked similar on radar. The U.S. accepted the explanation. Israel apologized and paid compensation to the victims' families. But for the survivors, that wasn't enough. The aftermath, a storm of questions. To this day, many of the Liberty's surviving crew believe the attack was deliberate. They argue, the Liberty flew a large American flag, clearly visible in daylight. The ship's identification number was painted clearly on the hull. The ship's profile was nothing like the Egyptian vessel Israel claimed it mistook it for. Israel had conducted surveillance of the Liberty for hours before the attack. Why would a close U.S. ally and recipient of American aid attack an American ship? Some theories claim that Israel wanted to prevent the U.S. from overhearing sensitive operations during the war, particularly alleged war crimes in Sinai. Others believe it was meant to drag the U.S. into the conflict by blaming Egypt for the attack. To this day, classified files remain locked, and many documents about the USS Liberty are still heavily redacted. The human cost. For the men aboard the Liberty, the day was never forgotten. Many of them suffered from PTSD, injuries, and years of silence. Few received medals, even fewer received national recognition. When survivors spoke out, they were often ignored or silenced. "I saw the Star of David on the plains," said one sailor. "It was no accident," said another. Legacy of the Liberty. The USS Liberty incident remains one of the most controversial military episodes in U.S. history. It's a story few Americans know, and one many prefer to forget, but it happened. 34 American sailors died that day in 1967, not at the hands of an enemy, but by the weapons of an ally. And for those who survived, the message is clear. Truth deserves light, and the fallen deserve justice. What do you believe? Was it a tragic mistake or a deliberate act? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe to Force Factor for more military history, current conflicts, and untold war stories.